Can't really punish the goaltender on that goal. Sam Savoie, again, showing his physicality, having no problem getting underneath.
Doing another shot at this. Going to try to pick up some more mods.
Leaning into Sam Savoie's shoulder on the face.
There's hockey tonight in Milwaukee. Minnesota Wild versus Chicago Blackhawks.
Players and some of their star players are just really utilizing.
It's good to see hockey in Milwaukee. We'll just leave it at that.
With the Andreas Athanasiou, Max Domi, and Patrick
Kane. It belongs there.
And again, we saw those guys flying around a couple of days ago against Detroit. Unfortunately, none of them able to connect on a goal in this game, and even on the 3-on-1.
Well, I'll give you a little bit of
Kane kind of setting it up for Andreas Athanasiou, and Athanasiou had one too many passes. It got broken up as he tried to get it back to back.
A little bit of post
game. Set up a goal, and it wasn't even that it was a bad pass, or I take that back, a bad decision to pass. Just kind of a soft effort as it slowly went over towards Kane. It really gave the opportunity for Minnesota to just stick out their stick.
Had to message Slapnuts' gaming
and deny the Blackhawks of a goal.
He's also a Blackhawks fan.
Right before the second period came to a close,
picked up a couple of Tony Esposito autos, a 2 of 15 and a 2 of 3, of course, are for Pro Set. Pro Set, baby!
For a moment, it was nothing called.
Hi, Mydell.
Rather
hold on, Mydell's here.
Just 2-minute minor call, but then later on, when Stillman went to the bench, they did give Fogarty
Baby Mydell is a puppy.
A double minor, giving the Blackhawks 4 minutes of a power play. But again, they just struggled generating anything offensively. They finished that second period being outshot 13-3 when the majority of that
right now you're listening to the post game with Joe Brand
was played in the second period. However, the Hawks did get an opportunity with the power play to begin the third period.
Being it's historic, I figure I get a little bit of this in here while I'm doing the.
And even though they weren't
moderator
able to capitalize there was another opportunity. Joseph Cramarosa with a roughing penalty sent him to the box. Once again, the Blackhawks would go on the power play, and once again, the Minnesota Wild would take advantage of it.
And now Korchinski finished off with a body check by Ryan Hartman, who falls down, but from his belly, put it on goal. Turned out there by Mrazek. The rebound, Boldy shoots and scores. It's another short-handed goal for the Wild. This is their second.
Blackhawks have the best radio crew.
His first on the preseason.
And then if you get to hear Jim Cornelison sing the national anthem, that's just amazing.
Got to give credit to the former Hawk.
Somebody comes in, I'll have him put in a link. I can't do it right now.
Mrazek. He was falling down to the ice, but he was still able to get a stick on the puck and just kind of slap it towards Mrazek. Got him up in the chest, maybe in the shoulder, and the rebound, the redirection just went over to his other side, where Matt Boldy was just there skating around the net and all by himself. The Blackhawks got caught napping a little bit there as everyone was looking at the wild play of Hartman falling down to the ice and slapping the puck. Mrazek.
Get out of there.
So Boldy was given a perfect opportunity just to sneak around, find an open
space,
up
all the
and
stuff
slap
there.
It past Mrazek for a 2-0 lead. The first two goals for the Minnesota Wild both came shorthanded. As John mentioned, that's now 3 shorthanded goals for the Minnesota Wild in this preseason.
2 things already.
And the
stream started 3 minutes and 37 seconds ago. Torn up a pair of pants,
especially after
and
that.
some other stuff.
And even later on, when
and Brandon
Duhaime made a really nice play.
3 things.
And now loose puck in the left circle. Duhaime walking to the net, shoots and scores. Well, turnover in the Hawk end proves costly.
You know, we're talking about Minnesota Wild. I did pick up a Nico Sturm stature red auto to 45. I need that one yet.
Went from his forehand to his backhand, brought it back to his forehand.
His autograph looks like it belongs in brass, like piano.
Turnover by
something.
Patrick Kane in the near half boards from all people, but Duhaime just quickly picking it up, made a nice quick move on Peter Mrazek, and again, you really can't blame the 3 goals on him solely, because the first and the third, he was pretty much facing a one-on-one situation, and even the Matt Boldy goal. I mean, he got a good stop on Ryan Hartman's shot on a very
going to let this run for a few more minutes.
Awkward shot coming from Hartman.
Nobody shows up.
And eventually a 3-0 lead and a 3-0 win for the Minnesota Wild as they take the first preseason matchup against the Hawks here tonight in Milwaukee. Again, shots on goal in favor of Minnesota, 33-12. That includes them out shooting the Hawks 13-3 in the second period. Just a rough night for the Hawks offensively. We heard Troy Murray break down some of the offensive struggles earlier on in the post-game show and towards the end of the broadcast, as he's a fan of what Luke Richardson is trying to implement with this fast-action, fast-paced offense. But there is still a lot of figuring out to be done with this team. But as Troy mentioned, and as I had brought up too, you're talking about a lot of players that are still trying to find their way on this Blackhawks roster. A lot of identities and roles that the Blackhawks coaching staff is still figuring, not only whether or not they're going to use them, but in what type of role. We talked a lot about Sam Lafferty moving from wing to center this year. He did play center for the second straight game here tonight in Milwaukee. Earlier today, he was practicing back on the wing, but again, it just seems like this Hawks coaching staff is doing their due diligence, taking their time, tinkering with things, implementing new philosophies, and just trying to get everyone on the same page. And these aren't excuses.
Might not be seeing everything.
Brought up prior to the game tonight that even though they're preseason games, you still want to win some battles. You still want to win some periods.
Just going to wait a few more minutes.
Because once that regular season comes, and it's coming 10 days against the reigning Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche, you don't want to be forced into a situation where you just flip on that switch.
Thanks to everybody that did stuff in the first stream. And messaged just a little bit ago.
I'm sure Luke Richardson is definitely going to be looking at a lot. There's probably going to be some cuts made within the next 24 hours, definitely before the game against the Minnesota Wild on Thursday, which I'm being told by the 2 Energy Center, so I got that right.
There's 10,000 legs up there. You got to be careful.
Urbana tuned in once again.
Something just 217
says he does not want to hear a single excuse from anybody for tonight's pathetic play. Well, Tim, I guarantee you won't hear any excuses from anyone. Again, this is preseason game number 4. 2 more to go before the regular season starts, and still a lot of cuts and moves to be made by Luke Richardson before we get to that date. As we mentioned before, we should be getting post-game sound from guys like Max Domi, Luke Richardson. I do have some sound from Richardson and Sam Lafferty from before
Mad
today's
Max
game
Beyond Thunderdome.
I would like to get to. We are going to take our next break. When we come back, we'll hear from somebody from either earlier today or very recently. I believe that Richardson is finished up talking with the media, so hopefully we can get that to you sooner than later. If you'd like to join in, shoot me a tweet at Joe_brand1. That's at Joe_brand, BRAND 1 on Twitter, or send us a text, 312-981-7200. We'll have some post-game sound when we come back. You're listening to the Blackhawks preseason post-game show as the Hawks fall with the Minnesota Wild 3-0 on 720 WGN.
Getting that just right temperature or getting an energy-efficient appliance. It's not only about making smart changes today, it's about creating brighter tomorrows with simple steps to save energy. Plus, you'll help protect the environment for years to come. A better world for you, your family, and your community. Get started with rebates and discover what energy-efficient choices can help you power what's next at AlliantEnergy.com/rebates.
As a parent, no 2 days are ever the same. At Care.com, you can find trusted and flexible sitters to help manage your family's ever-changing schedule. Care.com can even help you out with housekeepers, dog walkers, senior caregivers, and more, so you can find care for all you love. And 100% of caregivers who use
Care.com getting 10 minutes. I'm going to shut this off because, frankly, I'm thinking I might just...
To get the help you need to make it all work, sign up now and find a great sitter at Care.com.
When you love riding a motorcycle, you want to ride it everywhere, even to a physical.
Let's check your weight. Hop on the scale. Look at that. You're down a few pounds. Oh, yeah. Must be the new carbon fiber wheels.
And when you love saving money, you want to save even more. That's why Geico makes it easy to bundle your motorcycle and car insurance.
I'm going to prescribe 91 octane for your engine knock, and we'll want to see you again in 3,000 miles.
Kickstart your savings with Geico Motorcycle. Bundle and save on the things you love.
Ready to start, enhance, or pivot in your career? At University of Phoenix, we offer more than 100 online programs aligned to 300 real-world occupations, and 80% of them are in high-growth fields. We can help match your intro program, and you can customize your degree with a certificate or specialization, giving you a competitive edge in today's job market. To learn more, Visit phoenix.edu.
A fun night, but a rough night up here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. The Hawks fall to the Minnesota Wild 3-0 at the Pfizer Forum, home of the Milwaukee Bucks, home of Marquette basketball as well, and a very cool venue that we're allowed to continue out the postgame show here at 720 WGN. I'm Joe Brand. We're taking you up to 10 o'clock tonight. We're hoping to hear from Max Domi and Luke Richardson from after tonight's game. But before we get to that, I want to bring up a couple of subjects and comments that Richardson made before tonight's game, because, again, earlier today, the Hawks announced that Boris Tkachuk would be out 4 to 6 weeks due to an injury, which is rough news for him. A guy going into his second year in the Blackhawks organization after being part of the Brandon Hagel trade last year. Definitely an opportunity for him to take a step forward, have a more significant role with this Hawks team, and he's unfortunately a little setback to begin the year. But with that comes an opportunity for someone else, and who might that be? Well, the Blackhawks beat reporters have been asked Luke Richardson that.
He's doing really well. He's with the penalty kill last couple of games, and that really helped us. But it's unfortunate. It's surprising. I didn't see it, so I didn't think it would be that serious. But I saw the replay today, and it looked like he was really laboring. So that sucks for him. Players work really hard in the summer to prepare for the whole standard. So it's I think obviously a goal in there early the other night, and last game, the way penalties went, I thought our power play actually had some really good opportunities last night. We just didn't put it in up until the last one. I think so he has. It's going to really show who will belong on the and the game starting to get fast.
That was Scott Powers of Athletic asking Luke Richardson about Dylan Sikura. Earlier was asked about Lucas Reichel. Probably very excited to see Lucas Reichel.
Listen to Joe talking.
NHL games this year. But we've talked about this a lot. If he's going to succeed here in the NHL, he's going to be a top 6 forward. He can get those minutes. He can get that guaranteed time down in Rockford. When he comes up here to the NHL, he might not get that, at least not right away. Even Boris Tkachuk wasn't a guy that would be playing top 60. Basically filled the slot of a forward missing. That's why I do understand the idea of Dylan Sikura a little bit more. When Dylan Sikura first came to the Blackhawks organization, he was looking to become a next elite scorer. He was highly praised as the Blackhawks' top prospect, and unfortunately it really panned out. He's had some experience now with some other teams. He was with Colorado last year. He's back to this organization in a much different role, but something he was talking about earlier last week about his new role with the Hawks is there's not as much pressure to come on the NHL and perform and score a bunch of goals. Ironically, he did that against Detroit on Thursday night in the first 11 seconds, but he doesn't have to be that guy. So if he were to replace, again, the absence of Boris Tkachuk to begin this year, who's, again, going to be 4 to 6 weeks, hopefully that can be a perfect opportunity for him and allow him to just get some more confidence under his belt as well. Sam Lafferty met with the media earlier today, too. Again, we've been talking a lot about him for moving from wing to center this upcoming
zone, but the way we play, we're pretty it's a lot easier.
Have there been any specific moments where you're like, oh, I'm doing something a winger would do, and have to kind of click yourself back into the middle or something?
We kind of fill in for each other.
If I can find him, I'll put it in. There it is. Okay.
So as long as 3 men, you follow, and for me, it's kind of getting close to home, was pretty fun. And then I think we win as a team. We got
everything in the offseason. Nice change for you guys.